It's Monday, August 21st. We'll call the Mandan Public School District meeting to order. The first thing on the agenda is a pledge of allegiance, so please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Is there any changes to the agenda? Seeing none from administration. Anybody else have any changes to the agenda? If not, what are the wishes of the group?
I move that we approve the agenda as written.
All right, we have a motion to approve it. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Ms. Ferris. Any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Legacy, please call roll.
Haugen.
Yes.
Morton.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Rector.
Yes.
Burris.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes. Next item is public communication. Anybody in the audience wishing to address the board? Seeing none, we'll move on to the administrator's report. First item on the administrator's report is the enrollment update. Dr. Bitts.
I have a hard copy in front of you of the first day last year to our projected first day enrollment this year. I apologize for what I put in the packet. I don't know that I printed it out of Power School, but I don't know how readable it was. So I made this one, and hopefully this is a little easier. A couple of things that I'd like to explain. If you look at the pink highlighted part, the district school MPS 1, those are our homeschool students and our students who are educated elsewhere, like the Ann Carlton Center, Dakota Boys and Girls Ranch. We have some kids in both Christ the King and St. Joe's who we serve. They're getting special ed services or EL services, so they got a state ID. That's those students. So our actual enrollment, if you look at the bottom, it shows that we have 4,665 students. You actually have to subtract those 175 because they don't attend here, which when you do that for both this year and last year, our this year enrollment is 4,490. Our last year enrollment was 4,378. So we're up about 112 students is what that shows from projected first day this year over first day last year. When you look at RSP numbers, and if you look at this, it's stapled. If you look on the backside, they say that we're going to have 4,385 students. One thing about RSP is they do not count our early childhood special education program where we got 59 students enrolled. As of right now, it shows that we are going to be 46 students over what they actually projected we have. I think we're going to be very close. We're still adding new kids that are enrolling today, but we're also exiting students that we're getting transfer requests for and that have moved. I think we're going to be very close to their number when all things shake out. A couple of things that I want to point out to you is we're down almost 50 kindergarten students compared to last year at this time. It's actually 48 students. I don't know why that is. When I talk to the people over in Bismarck, they're noticing that their kindergarten numbers are much lower too. This is a surprise to us. We don't know why. They don't know why. We'll see if they're just enrolling late or if it's actually a dip in students. Overall, our high school grades 9 through 12 is up 24 students. Our middle school is up 32 students. And our elementary is up 36 students, even with the dip in kindergarten. So we're still seeing enrollment here. Virtual, we have our virtual academy right now. We have a total of 75 students, K through 12, that are enrolled in our virtual academy. That will grow throughout the year. It seems like we always have requests throughout the year for kids to go into our virtual academy. I don't know if you have any questions on this, or I can try to clear something up. Right now, Lakewood, which it was highlighted in blue, you can see we're going to open with about 266 students. We were thinking that this was going to be closer to 300. I'm not sure where we'll actually end up. We did have a few Fort Lincoln parents, Lewis and Clark parents, who requested to stay at their school, and if their grade level was sized right, we did approve that request as long as they provided transportation themselves. Any questions, Dr. Rector?
Yeah, one question, Dr. Bitts. Remind me, Lakewood's a two-section school right now?
It is. We do have 3 sections of first grade and 3 sections of second. I believe, yeah.
Okay.
So we have a couple of bubble classrooms that were larger.
Okay, great, thank you.
All right, any other questions? Thanks, Dr. Pitts. Then we'll move on to the back-to-school open house schedule.
Correct. In your packet is open house schedule of when and where. I mean, basically tonight and tomorrow night at all of our schools, there'll be an open house schedule where parents can come in and meet the teachers, bring their backpacks, school supplies in. I know Lakewood is where I'm going to be heading right after this meeting. They're open from 5:30 to 7. I was worried that they weren't going to be ready, but it's not done, but they're ready.
I walked through Lakewood. Mr. Legacy called me. He saw me drive by, so we had a chance to walk through it today. And man, they've done a lot of work down there in the last 2 weeks, getting them classrooms and everything ready. But kudos to the teachers and to the staff and everybody else that's working down there. There's a lot of work been done in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I want to compliment all of our teachers. We've been in and out of every building last few days, and our teachers have, and our custodial staff, the building's looking good. Our teachers have their classrooms ready, so we're ready for the students to come, and it's an exciting time. If I can roll into the next item, Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think our community open house at Lakewood, we'd like to do that on September 20th. That's when we invite the whole community to come in. Hopefully, we're going to be even more done than we are now. I think they'll do. They're going to vote on their mascot, just kind of like they did at Red Trail, and we'll reveal it that night. So, certainly would love anybody in the community who wants to see Lakewood to come down there. Start at 5 o'clock. It'll be a good night, an opportunity for our community to see what they bought and what they paid for at Lakewood.
So we'll give out more information and put it on probably the school website and the Facebook pages and those
We'll
type
use
of things to get all that
Remind,
out.
we'll use social media, we'll get the word out.
All right, sounds good. And I know there are some of the older elderly housing down there. Some of those people have been asking, so hopefully we can reach out to them. Maybe they can have some of that too.
Yes, I think that'll happen.
So good. All right. Any questions on that? All right. Next is the update on the near site clinic, Dr. Bitts.
Our insurance committee, and you'll see in the minutes, we've talked about our health insurance minutes that we've talked about a near site clinic that can provide care to our staff. We have a high deductible health plan, and this would be a win for them. They would be able to go in for a small fee. Jamestown's been doing it for several years. West Fargo is just implementing it. We want to do it. My hope was that we were going to have that RFP to include in the packet, and I don't. I apologize for that, but the update is we're still working on it, and we're going to have an RFP soon.
All right. Any questions on that one? Well, it's just kind of an exciting thing, and hopefully we can get that moving. Next item on the agenda is tribal input on consolidated applications. Dr. Redroth?
Yes, you'll see on page 5 of your packet. On August 8th, myself and Travis Albers and Callie Schnell and Troy Leah Langaroo, who all work within the district, went down and met with their education committee. Because of our location in relation to Standing Rock and our high number of Native American students, we do tribal consultation on any of our federal funding, so on the consolidated application. So we spoke with them about what we choose to prioritize with our money, where our budget is at, and they were very receptive, very appreciative of the work we're doing. They've been a great partner for us. And with ideas, I'm hoping to invite them up when we do our open house in Lakewood and probably get a tour of the high school to share with them some of the good work we've been doing. So it was always a nice experience to go down there and speak with them and hear their ideas and their insights.
Great. Any questions? Thank you for going down there and doing that. All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda tonight. And the consent agenda is review and consider approval of previous board minutes, August 7, 2023. Review and consider approval of previous board retreat minutes, August 7, 2023, and accept the Health Insurance Committee minutes from August 10th, 2023. What are the wishes of the board?
I'd make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
All right, we have a motion from Mr. Horn. We have a second.
I'll second that.
We have a second from Mr. Peters. Mr. Legacy, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda is unfinished business. We have no unfinished business, so we'll move to new business. The first item on there is review and consider approval of the 2023-2024 consolidated application. Dr. Rederath.
Yes, on page 10 of your board packet, you will see a two-pager on our consolidated application. It's almost identical to the one I shared with you in June. That's where our numbers came out for the money that we're receiving for our federal funding. So for Title I, you'll see we're going to be receiving $1,266,639. That's about a $90,000 increase from last year, so that's a nice little bump there. I do have it broken out by school and the poverty rate and what they will be allocated as far as their Title I funds go. We're still in the process of finalizing all of that with DPI, but our numbers will not change for those amounts. One thing I would notice, and I know I noted this in June, is our district poverty rate is up about 6%. And that's, I think, just an interesting view of maybe what's going on in the community, because they pull that from U.S. Census data, not necessarily from COVID-influenced data. So we are seeing a bit of an increase on that level. And if you go on to the next page, page 11, you will see our Title II funding. We use a lot of our Title II for things like instructional coaches, professional development. That went up about $10,000 for us this year, coming year. And then looking at Title IV, which we use for our school nurses, social worker, technology integration, that increased by about $20,000 for the coming school year. Any questions on those?
Any questions? Seeing none, could I get a motion to approve the 23-24 consolidated application? If that be their wishes.
So move.
We have a motion by Mr. Peters. We have a second? Second. We have a second by Ms. Ferris. Any discussions, comments? If not, Mr. Legacy, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda is review, approve a lookalike Title I program at Red Trail and Fort Lincoln Elementary. And Dr. Rederath, as you go through, can you explain a little bit what it is so people listening to us have an idea what it is?
Yeah, what our lookalike programs are designed to is to reflect the Title I services in schools that do not receive Title I funding because they don't meet the federal parameters for that. So what we use that money for is we have a specialist both at Fort Lincoln and Red Trail that is doing screenings, doing assessments, and then doing interventions on their most at-risk students that they have identified as in need of some additional support, just like they would receive if they were in a qualifying title building. So it's really a nice equity piece for us to ensure that we're giving services across all of our elementary schools in an equal fashion.
Yep. Thank you. I just wanted to make sure we kind of explained it when we
Absolutely.
had some of them missing there. All right. Any further questions? If not, what are the wishes of the board on this one?
I'll move to approve the lookalike program.
All right. We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
And we have a second. Any further comments, questions? Now, Mr. Legacy, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda, review and consider approval of 2023-2024 school board goals for the strategic plan. If you remember, we kind of talked through these during the board retreat. These are kind of what we'll look at in the three different groups that we have out there. So as we go through and we work through the year, that's what we have there. Dr. Bitts, anything else you want to really add on this?
No, I think, I don't, am I on here?
Yep.
I think that we've updated them to what I heard you say at the retreat, but if I've made a mistake or there's something that isn't right, we can certainly amend them. But otherwise, I would ask that you adopt these goals and we will get them into our strategic plan.
Yep. And then I just want to add one thing. These are the three different subcommittees that we have as a board, and we do look for membership from outside individuals in relation to this. And I think we've started some of the meetings. I know you've gotten some applications, but if anybody's interested, Dr. Bitts, they can still contact you, right?
Absolutely. If they'd like to serve on I'll just name the committees, Facilities and Finance, Policy and Personnel, and Student Achievement Committee, we would welcome input from the public.
All right. Just putting that out there for if somebody's interested. All right. What are the wishes of the board on this one? Any changes, or are you good to go?
I move to approve the 2023-2024 school board goals as outlined in the packet.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second? Second. We have a second from Mr. Haugen on the end. Any further discussions, questions, comments? Seeing none? Mr. Legacy, you want to call roll, please?
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda is review and consider approval of financing resolution for 20 million loan through the state school construction loan. This is what we had, and if you could kind of just identify, we did one of these last meeting and this meeting, kind of the difference between them.
Correct.
Good.
I can do it. Last meeting, you approved the fund, last week, you approved the award, and now you're approving you're approving the resolution to finance it.
Yep.
It's an accompanying motion. It's the same funds, but lawyers want you to do it twice.
I'm just had you do it so that way people aren't thinking we borrowed 40 million.
No, it's the same, it's an accompanying motion, but you have to do one, and then the next time you meet, you do the other. So it's the same $20 million loan at 2%.
2%, which is a significant savings.
It is,
Over
and I
$1 million,
would love to
you
thank
said.
our legislature.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda is review and consider approval of an agreement with RSP for a 5-year enrollment analysis.
Correct. And in your packet is an agreement from them on page 20. It's been 4 years since they made enrollment. We're in our 4th year of projections from them. They are proposing to do another 5-year projection. The cost would be $13,000. We talked a little bit about this at the retreat, and it would be our recommendation that we approve it. I think it's valuable information for us, and it allows us to plan.
Yeah, and you look at the sheet that you gave us earlier, we only have 1 more year left, so it's time to do it before we get done here. So we
Correct.
got the next 5 years that are out there, in my opinion, anyway. Any questions for Dr. Bitts? What are the wishes of the board?
I would move to accept the RSP agreement.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
We have multiple seconds. Any further discussions and questions? Seeing none, Mr. Legacy, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. The next item on the agenda is future meeting dates. August 28th, Facilities and Finance at 5 p.m. at Lakewood. That's at Lakewood, right? September 5th, regular school board, 7 p.m. at City Hall. September 18th, regular school board, 5:30 p.m. at City Hall. And September 18th, budget hearing, also here at City Hall. Is there any other meetings or anything else that should come before the board? Seeing none, meeting's adjourned.